What's going on? You checking the load boards? You talking about technology? What are you doing? Oh, you're looking for loads? Oh, check this out. No way. Please do help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host. She's visible. It's real.
It's
What's
real.
up, Sue? How you doing? Hey, I
Doing
like
fine.
the
How about you?
stars.
Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to put Murphy on there, so I may get that on there next. So we'll
All right,
see
well, that's
what
cool.
happens.
Murphy in the sky with
Yeah.
diamonds. Also, we have a new robot friend in the corner of the screen. If
Okay.
you can see take a look at that. And
You see
so,
Fireflies note taker? No?
Fireflies, no, that's, no, but if you're able to, I don't know if you're able to watch the live stream, but
Oh,
you'll see
no, I
that we
usually.
have and by the way, I'm checking the live stream on LinkedIn, make sure we're good there. Yeah, we're good. We should be fine. So we are live on YouTube and LinkedIn. We're talking about auto logistics, auto transport, car shipping. I know it can be a bit of a snooze depending on what you do, but the thing is, as I was talking about, what's the first step in auto recon? The answer is auto transport. So no matter what vertical you're in, I truly believe that logistics is part of your life. That's why Thursday's show is all about automotive logistics. And so, having said that, we have a special guest today. We have Danny from DSK Haulers on, right?
Yes.
And so I'm going to do a bit of a screen share. There's Danny. He made the cover. He made the DVD cover. He's on Sports Illustrated next week. No, he's not. This is Danny. And thank you, Danny, for joining us. He's in the wings, ready to go. Now, I revisited. I did a cost per mile show in the past. And so we're going to be talking about cost and maintenance. We got some things to talk about. But you also mentioned that, and I came up with a graphic for it. We're going to talk about cleaning up the dispatchers.
Okay.
Okay? I know,
Okay.
it's a weird one. But I would think there's like brokers and stuff that'd be like, no way. They're talking about cleaning up dispatchers on ATI? Yeah. Because we're here to talk about anything that needs to be talked about. As long as it pertains to automotive, we're going to do that. Also, if you have a load board search, you want to talk about rates, whatever it is. And if you feel a bit queasy, man, oh man, there are some queasy people out there. I'm not kidding. Do you know how many people are left in the wake of ATI feeling like either, I don't know, like
Don't know
there's
what's
been
going
extra
on.
too many questions or maybe slighted, or it's pretty weird. There's now a wake. ATI as a wake. Oh shoot. We are the ecosystem's neutral zone. That's part of having a wake. I mean, we're not going to please everybody all the time. Sometimes nobody. It is a full ecosystem. I say know your ecosystem. OEM, dealer, auction, broker, carrier, equipment, regulations, and remarketing are all immediate areas to know about in automotive business. And we had, well, I guess this would be the regulations square, right? Was covered last week with trucker drug testing with Gina Kessler. Fascinating show.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, I'll be dropping a YouTube short about gummies. I think that goes out tomorrow. It's a clip from the show. Auto Transport Community Media since 2017. I don't think there's a need to remind anybody, but I will. And what's fun about this is that I go live twice a week, which nobody else is really doing in auto logistics. That's fine. Okay, Jay, get your kudos. Enjoy that. Show me the truck. We're going to look at the trucks. Here we go. These are some of Danny's loads.
Yes. Yep.
Do you know anything about this load?
Um, I can't remember how long ago these were. These are the ones I just sent to you recently, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so these
Couple
are two
weeks.
vans that we took for that new company, KC Dispatch, from Arkansas to Dallas, I believe. And they're somebody that I wanted to get on the show because they're a new freight slash trucking broker. They're the ones that wanted pictures of once we picked up on the trailer because they've had multiple companies double brokering loads. So this way they can make sure it's where it's supposed to be and that kind of thing.
Excellent. Next slide.
I'm gonna guess and say these were from Kansas City down to Texas someplace for Circle Logistics is what I'm gonna assume because I take a lot of 3 packs of vans for them on a regular. So Danny is 56 foot long. So this isn't a typical 3-car. Most people can't do this stuff. And a lot of times we'll take 4, but I have a formula to make sure that everything fits every time. And anybody wants the formula, give me a jingle or send me a text or an email, and I'll tell you how you figure the formula for making sure something will fit on a 3-car. And that means any length. If you're 42, if you're 50, or if you're 53, the formula works no matter what.
I smell a new segment called Name That Load. Wow. Or show us your load. I think that's better, right? Yeah. Show us your load. All right. Tell me about this one. Show us your load.
That one's a far back. That's a 4-pack of cars that fit. I'm gonna guess and say this is a more recent one too, and it probably was from Arkansas to Texas as well. And I want to say it might have been a 4-pack of vehicles from Copart or IAA, but I'm just guessing.
All right, and I like that. I like that load.
Yeah, it was a good paying load.
That's a good
and like
one.
I said, in order to make anything fit like this, you've got to know something to make sure that it fits. And I don't know. You might ask Danny when we get him on the show. I don't know if I've ever been wrong. He always like, Sue, I don't think this is gonna fit, and I'm like, I did the measurements. We should be fine.
Yes, that should be another segment. I don't think it's gonna fit. Totally, it's awesome. Here's another one. I don't think it's gonna fit.
That's another Circle Logistics. Anytime I'm doing 3-packs of vans, it's usually KC to someplace.
See, okay. See, now that's a freebie. See, we're right now promoting why you should haul for Circle Logistics.
Yeah. I mean, they have good loads. They pay very well.
Yeah.
And they pay when they're supposed to. I did have an incident this very last time that for some reason their accounting screwed everything up. But Maria, I don't know if everybody knows Maria at Circle Logistics. She's great. And she got on their butts, and I got paid the next day, and she apologized profusely. And she said, she goes, how do they expect me to have good transporters work for me if I can't get them paid when they're supposed to? That's one broker that said that. I've never heard anybody say anything like that, and that she's absolutely right.
Wow, can we get her on the show?
She would be a good one.
Yes.
I talked to her about it.
Yes. ATI is a place we want to hear from anybody who's helping improve the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Please bookmark that for me. That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, what do we got here?
3 junk vehicles is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one that one is.
That one on the top, he might have driven that one up, right?
Yeah. The other 2. Oh, I know which ones these are. We just did this load.
Okay.
This was a load from Tennessee. We dropped one in Memphis. We dropped the middle car in Memphis. We picked up another car in Memphis. Actually, believe it or not, both those ran and drive. And I know that doesn't look like that, but we dropped off the middle car in Memphis. We had picked up that other car in Nashville. It was going to Grenada. And then I picked up another vehicle in Grenada. Everything was going down to Texas. And it paid decent. It's been a rough week, though. I will say that. I don't know if any of you noticed it, but there's only like 29,000 loads on the board right now.
So, whoa. Do you want to share that? Because I was just writing down. Pre-owned logistics notepads. Thank you. The show's called Should I Stay or Should I Go? And I want you to talk about why that is.
So we're calling it that because, I have this happen all the time, and I'm sure most people do. Like, you get a load and you find out that you're not going to make it in time. They're not going to leave it out. And how often does that happen? Every once in a while, but very few and far between are they willing to set it outside. And so you have to reason out. So say you get there, and we're going to talk about this with Danny because this is why this all came up. But so he got to one of his places and they closed at 5, and he got there a little bit after that. He didn't know whether he should stay or should he go, and that's why we named the show that. Do you really want me to go through the whole thing, or you want to wait until he's on the show so we can talk about it?
Okay, so you're teasing it up. That's
I'm
good.
teasing it up.
and we want to know, and I'm in the live chat here, is that should I stay or should I go? Who's playing? Who wants to play Should I Stay or Should I Go? Somebody's playing it right now. Should I stay or should I go?
I think that's a regular thing every day when you're looking at loads and just trying to decide how far your driver can get and whether it's worth stopping to grab something else to be there the next day. That it all kind of goes, and there's several factors that go in should I stay or should I go.
That's right.
So we'll cover a bunch of different ones.
Okay, good. So we got several factors. Now, I also want to say this. I shared it on LinkedIn, and I said it a different way, is that should I stay or should I go is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if a shipper hears that? What? Wait a minute. What do you mean, your guy? Wait a minute. Here's what I'm getting at. You know that there are folks, and I saw this too. Shout out Marco. Marco just posted on LinkedIn this morning something that grinds his gears is somebody saying they've got 17,000 carriers. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Is that it doesn't make me mad that you say you have 17,000 carriers, but I'm saying, where's that button? I'm saying no. I'm saying you don't have 17,000 carriers. Now, the thing is, if a shipper thinks there are 17,000 carriers or 170,000 carriers or 17 million carriers or whatever you tell them, and then you tell them that the driver, your car, we got a driver right down the street empty, ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only is he not empty down the street ready to go, but he's still staring at the load board waiting for the rates to go up. And by the way, rates to go up doesn't imply that he needs, extra cash to go to a cruise. He's waiting for the rates to go up so he can cover his expenses and run a business. And the shipper has no idea that that's happening.
No.
Okay.
Well, and do they even care?
Would they care?
Hey, they got their own shit to worry about. So.
Should I care?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're worrying about their overhead. They're not worrying about anybody else's overhead.
And that's fine too. We all have something to worry about more than we want, right?
Yeah.
But should I stay or should I go is real. There are carriers right now waiting for the rate to go up to an acceptable level where they can accept it and run their business. And just to hammer it home, the shipper might be saying, but I already pay that. I'm paying plenty. Well, you might be paying plenty. It just means the carrier's not getting enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know. Tough subject. That's no fun at all, Jay. Keep it to yourself. Do you remember this one? Oh, and Danny's going to be up here in a minute. We're talking about you, Danny. By the way,
I would
check.
say that's a Dallas load to someplace.
Now,
it was a 2-pack with one single.
My driver, wow, it's been a while. I can't remember his name now. Used to call those the U-bodies.
Yeah, I think
that's
what they're called.
U-bodies, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't. Don, my gosh, shout out to Don. I learned a lot from Don. And which one is this? Which load of Danny's is
Danny.
this? This isn't Danny?
This is not Danny. Yeah. OMG, really?
Oh man. Well, okay. First of all, dead giveaway. Okay, so that's not a state. So that's,
this is another country.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that explains a lot.
Right.
So maybe not. I mean we've seen some crazy shit here too. So.
Why not? How do you load that? By the way,
that's got to be a fork on, I would say. But it doesn't look like a bad car, though.
Well, no. Shoot. Why pay more? Right?
Just throw it on the back.
Come on, man.
What is it crushing is what I want to know.
You said he was empty down the road, and we got this? Yeah. Welcome to Auto Transport. All right, we are going to talk about this a little because it is important in that this is a picture of a situation where a driver couldn't pull his truck and hook up to his trailer because this guy is parked on the street.
Right.
Now, Hey, did you get the memo? Anyways, we'll keep. I don't know what to say. I want to say this before Danny gets here. I got two things I'm thinking about right now. This, Cox doubles down on Central Dispatch with a $100 million investment. I think about this every day since I've seen this. Seriously. This is a really big deal, and I'm not sure if everybody is aware what a big deal this is. Whether you like it or not, whether you're happy or sad, it doesn't matter. Because if this happens, and it looks like it's happening, it's going to change auto transport software.
I think so too.
And go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I think so too. I think their ultimate plan is going to be something to the effect of kind of like Super Dispatch, click the load, kind of grab it kind of thing. But the other thing they need to do, and if they're listening, I hope they are, this whole rating system, the fact that we do not get notifications of ratings any longer is crazy. We don't know if we've got a negative. We don't know if we got a positive. We don't know anything. So I don't know why they took that away, that we're not getting the emails anymore, but it definitely needs to be redone differently.
I was just thanking Elena in the live chat. Thank you guys so much. This is, when you jump in the live chat, we appreciate it so much. Shout out live chat. It's a big deal. Thank you.
Chris has a question too.
Oh, Chris has a question? Cool. Let's
about
go
his
right
overhang.
To it.
Yeah, he can have overhang. We just don't do it through Missouri. And actually, Danny got busted up in Michigan for overhang, and I'd never heard that before. And we need to probably ask him who pulled him over, if it was a hypo or actual cop, because I'm sure it's going to make a difference too on whether they knew what they were doing. Because I don't know about anybody else. Has anybody else had overhang issues in Michigan? And I've been doing this for 20 years.
Michigan. I was immediately thinking Missouri.
Yeah. Missouri, and then someone the other day, and I'm trying to remember, there's another state that came up. Can't remember what it is. If someone it's one of my girls, Alina, if you remember, I think it was you. Tell me which state it was. But I've never heard Michigan, ever. And he got busted over there for overhang.
I just want to say this is that the other news story, overhang, everything's on the table. Please feel free to live chat and ask us to continue on a topic. But the other thing that's really on my mind is not necessarily Runbot by RunBuggy, but AI. And I know people are worn out on AI. I get it. But here's the problem. It just got started. And I'm going to tell you this. I feel so lucky. I just watched an AI webinar by this guy who's not like a ridiculous corporate tool. It was awesome. I learned a lot. Cool. And here's what I'm going to tell you the takeaways. Here's 2 takeaways. Go sign up for premium ChatGPT. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah.
It's $20 a month. Is what the guy said. I'm going to go check it out. And if it is $20 a month, I'm going to sign up. The other thing is that Microsoft has got this Bard AI, whatever, and they just rebranded it to Gemini. And he's saying go sign up for that too. Now, I'm going to hold off on Gemini for a second. I'm still mad every time I try to open a PowerPoint or a Word file and Bill Gates wants my money again. It drives me crazy. But, which doesn't matter at all, Jay. The point is, ChatGPT Premium and AI, what is going to happen is this. This is going to happen. AI is going to be a part of everything. Which brings me back to Runbot AI. Let's talk about what Runbot AI should be able to do. It's going to utilize machine learning, which means it'll learn, right, independently. It won't be programmed. It'll learn to prioritize operational tasks, delivery challenges, and offer insights in complex scenarios, which, by the way, who does that now? A dispatcher.
Right.
But it doesn't replace a dispatcher. It gives the dispatcher better tools, faster ability. This is the thing. We're also worried. I think that's part of the AI thing. We're all worried we're all going to be replaced.
Right.
Well, is a mechanic replaced by the tools? No. The tools don't jump into the engine. The mechanic uses them. It's the same thing. Now, can you do mechanic work without a bunch of great tools? No. I mean, maybe. It's more like Castaway mechanic. That was funny. But you know, I mean, you know, but it's a tool. These are tools. And so the tools, because it is so complex, and it'll have predictive capabilities for logistical bottlenecks and other things. Now, I also know part of the thing everybody's thinking is, okay, if it makes everybody's lives easier, can the people that work here get a decent rate? Right? That's what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
If we can solve some of these rate problems, which again, should I stay or should I go? We can move on to the AI conversation. And that's one of my functions, I think, is to bridge the gap of reality to companies that have the next and best and greatest and latest. Take care of your workforce, and they will help you take care of your customers. That's a camera one ending right there. You can just go to sleep right now. You're all good. But if you choose to stick around, right after this, we'll be live with Danny of DSK Haulers. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Murphy Auto Transport Services, that's the voice of Sue. Sue is here. She's my co-host on Thursdays. I'm going to put the information for Murphy Auto Transport Services in the live chat, because if you don't already know, there's many reasons to contact Sue. You can get help staying loaded. You can get help shipping a car. You can learn more about broker packets or insurance, or, man, there's all kinds of things. Right? Or become a dispatcher. So, hey, are you looking for dispatchers? Are you looking for carriers? Tell us more. Oh,
both.
Yeah,
so
now you got it.
I know Moosey's on there right now. I know Elena's on there. I know both of them are looking for drivers. They each have one spot. I also have a couple other people I know that each have one spot. So yes, we've got opportunity available for anybody that needs a dispatcher. And I don't know if everybody knows who Moosey is, but Moosey is the one that created Dispatch Monkey and stuff like that. He's great. So, and he's been doing this for a long time. Alina's been doing this for 10 years. She knows what she's doing too. So yeah, if anybody needs a dispatcher, I've got a couple spots available, and I'll send you in the direction of one of these people.
Hey, I just want to say, and we got Danny here. Before we get Danny, Chris says, yeah. Well, James says Michigan's cracking down on overhang.
Okay.
And Chris is thanks. I know Missouri's bad, running New Jersey, PA general area, but yeah, thank you, James. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if you have any details, right, now that we're aware, this is how information works. Now that we're aware, are there more details? Like, I don't know, speed traps, or what, what are there areas or highways?
Hey, well, I will say this. I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you use your Google to, for finding a place, it will bring up speed traps. I don't know if everybody knows this. Like, whenever I even go from here to Branson, I'll put it up and it'll tell me if there's a cop that's have a speed trap up there. So I know it uses up your battery, but it works.
And then when they add AI to that, you'll know where he goes next.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right now there's a law enforcement guy like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hey, Danny, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can hear you guys.
Awesome.
Hey, Danny.
Hey.
Hey, hello.
I'm going to listen in. Sue, you talk to Danny.
Okay.
He's your driver.
So we're going to talk, I don't know, do you want to talk, Danny, first about like expenses, or do we want to talk about what happened the other night when we were talking about whether we should go or stay? That's the name of the show. So where do you want to start?
It's really up to you. I mean, expenses, we can start with expenses.
Okay, so as we all know, everybody has expenses. They have maintenance expenses, and Danny's had an incredible lot of expenses just this last month. What do you, about almost 10 grand, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
those
I
aren't
think, yeah.
about
Sorry.
that. Yeah. And they're not technically maintenance. They were, you had your, what was it called? Danny, I can't remember.
You mean the breakdown?
Yeah, I know you changed out your DEF.
Yes,
your turbo.
maintenance and turbocharger
Yeah.
got replaced. So yeah, 2023 has been so far.
And this
the
is
most
like your,
painful.
and this is like your second truck, correct? Since you started?
Correct. Yes. Correct. Yeah.
So what do you think the average lifespan of a pickup truck is in this business? 2?
Ooh, it's so hard to predict. It'll depend on the maintenance, on the
Yeah.
fluid that you're using, you know,
I mean-
how you drive, where you drive, you know, how much weight are you pulling, a lot of things. Also, you cannot really rely on the manufacturers that much anymore. I
Right.
mean, I've seen guys with, you know, brand new trucks with 10,000 miles on the odometer, having to replace transmissions, of course, under warranty, but they're out of work for months.
Right.
Because parts are in back order. It's a disaster. Yeah.
Right. So, like, through my experience, the average that I've had trucks last is anywhere between 2 to 3 years. That's probably good.
Yeah. You know,
Average.
That's probably, you know, if you're working full time, I would say, yeah, about
Yeah.
300,000
And-
miles.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. And see, now, if you take into the fact that you could have, say, a single axle tractor trailer with, you know, a sleeper unit. So you don't have to rent hotel rooms, that kind of thing. And, you know,
Of
the
course.
cost of, let's say the cost of your truck was, I'm going to guess $70,000, $80,000, right?
Yeah, I actually got a good deal on it. I
Okay.
bought it brand new in North Carolina. I think it was 70 out the door, and I do not pay sales tax because I'm not every dealership knows this, but once you have apportion plates, you do not have to pay sales tax. But a lot of dealers will charge you that, and you'll have to wait 1 year to get it back. So, yeah. So
That's good
I
enough.
think out the door was around 70,000, maybe a little less, 68 maybe.
And on average, I think you can find, and I haven't looked at them lately, but I know that a single axle tractor trailer, if you buy a used one, shall we say, and I'm not saying an old one, you probably get it in that price range. So,
That's a good question. I know nothing about, you know, semis or, you know, bigger trucks. I think there used to be a guy, Carlos Braxton, right, on the show a lot. And
Yeah.
I think he bought a bigger truck, right? He went from a pickup truck to a bigger truck. So
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that, yeah.
I think, I don't know if Carlos is on today, but I know when Carlos bought, it wasn't a true big rig. What are those smaller ones? What are they?
So and this is actually interesting because Braxton would be good to talk about this because he ended up. The thing is, I think it changed up his configuration, which caused him some
I'm
other.
gonna get a different trailer too. Yeah. At the
Yeah,
same time.
but
Yeah.
but he ended up
Oh, okay.
having some issues. Well, what I think we all learned is it's important to know what will changes in your truck and trailer configuration due to other parts of your
Switching out.
equipment. Because I think he would say if he had it to do over again, he might have picked a different cab. I think so.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. So and I point that out because it's a big, and unfortunately it's hard to unwind
Yeah.
that decision.
Yeah. And here's the only reason why I'm putting comparisons together is if you have your CDL, it's not a big deal. I know a lot of the truck drivers out there do not. I know Danny does. But a lot of them could actually be in what we're talking about, and those trucks go for what, 1 million miles? Now, don't get me wrong, you're still going to have the same problems. You're going to have transmission, motor, but you probably aren't going to have it as soon as you do in a pickup truck. And the guys that I have had that had a big rig and a truck, like when they've replaced the motor, they both paid $20,000 for the motor in the big rig or the pickup truck. So that would be something that when you're getting into this business, you need to look at, because you have hotel expenses, you have different expenses if you don't have someplace you can sleep. And, you know, right, Danny, because you rent a hotel room every night.
No, I sleep in the truck, and I usually get a hotel
On the weekends.
Saturday for my 34-hour restart. I have to have that. But other than that, I mean, it would be hard. It's not only that it's costly, but you also have to find a place to park. You know, like not every hotel has a proper parking
Place for it.
A 53-foot trailer, you know.
Right, right. And I know some of the guys stay at like the Flying J's and stuff like that, and they can make reservations ahead of time. I don't know if they're all like that, but I know that Paladin would do that on a regular basis, make his reservation before he even got there.
Yeah.
Hey, I just updated my virtual
Yeah,
background.
but you got to know your numbers.
Well, we're always tweaking, right? So what's the number one number that you find that you need to keep track of? Is it fuel? Is it tires? What is it?
Everything. Everything. You got to know your numbers. Fuel, you know, what is your cost per mile to operate? It's super important. Because
Per day,
if
almost.
you don't, I mean, you would think you're making money, but at the end of the day, you know, yeah, it's super important. Truck,
I know one of my drivers
fuel.
knew what he had to make every single day to be able to make money. And that was a while back, so I couldn't even tell you if it would make any difference if I gave you that figure, because gas is different, everything's different, you know. And everybody's expenses are all different too. I mean, some people might not have a trailer payment or a truck payment, and some people do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Sue, I wanted to ask you. You were talking about, what'd you say, 29,000 loads on the load board?
yeah,
While we're talking to Danny,
That's
you
not a
want to
lot.
pull up the load
No.
board? I know it's not. Actually, it
I do.
sounds.
I have it up.
Doesn't that? Man, wasn't it like just a month ago, like 65?
60. Well, it had gone up when we had that 2 weeks of snow. Well, it wasn't just the snow. It was the holiday, it was Christmas, and it was New Year's, and then we had snow. It all bulks up because not as many drivers are on the road. They're definitely this season, for the holiday season, I'm going to say only half the drivers were on the road compared to what, you know, normally it is. So that helps bulk it up. But then we always get the weather where people can't go certain places and people aren't selling cars as fast and stuff like that. So then it comes back in and it just, then you got 70,000 loads on the board, but they're all gone again. Like I said, it would take about 2 weeks for all that to filter out when everybody's back on the road. And here we are back down to 29,000. And really, yeah. And you can see the very top ones are in Canada. So it doesn't even do me any good. Canada or Alaska. Anyways,
do me a favor
for the next 3 days.
Share your screen too, will you?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. And what area is Danny again?
He's in Dallas right now. Did you already load the vans, Danny?
Yep.
Okay. And he is going
no, but
to
I'm
go.
right at the sheet. Yep.
Am I on the right? Can you see my screen?
We see, yes, Central Dispatch. Thank
Is
you.
it the one that says 29,000?
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
You got it. Cool.
Okay. And he's heading to Louisiana, and I've almost got him loaded out of Louisiana again. And we're going to go to Tennessee, Knoxville area. But I know everybody has been having problems in Dallas all week long. I didn't seem to have that big of a problem. I guess I'm lucky. They always chew me out when they're calling me and they're asking me if I got loaded, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, you know. But we had a couple big vans. That's what we're taking right now. And then I had my own customer. He had a Maserati that was in Dallas going to Slidell, and he always pays really, really well. So anytime I can take anything for him, I do that. I'd given Alina 3 vehicles the other day for him going down to my guy in Slidell. So he buys them on a regular basis. So that's very helpful for me when it comes to Dallas part of it. But I did take 2 big vans for U-Ship, and they're paying $1.27 a mile. They're going into Lake Charles, and then we've got one into Slidell. And I don't know Let me see if I can show you guys the vans. Let's see. Not yet. You haven't put them on there yet, have you, Danny? Nope.
What's that?
The vans?
Oh, they're not loaded yet. I think did he say that?
Not yet, but I'm right outside the.
Oh, you're outside of the yard. I gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so, but
Yep,
did you
it is
see that? Hold
awesome.
on.
Hold on, I'm coming back.
Corner office
Shit.
on the 6th floor. Did you notice that right there, we're literally talking to a driver, talking about his load, and looking at accessing his mobile app and inspection online.
Yes.
Live on YouTube and LinkedIn on a show about auto logistics. Now, I realize Captain Obvious, but that's where we are now.
Right. Never would have been able to do this.
That's amazing.
What, 5 years ago?
No,
That's
5
right.
years ago. I mean, nah, maybe. Actually, we could have, but it would have been rudimentary. But yeah, I mean, that's how new this stuff is. And again, that's why in the back of my mind, what are my 2 stories? What 2 stories am I thinking of in the back of my mind? Central Dispatch 100 million and AI.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
That's enough of that, Jay. All right, so
Should we talk about should we stay or should we go?
yeah, should we stay or should we go? All right,
Okay,
so
Dan-
now Danny, I'm just gonna stop your sharing, so we
Yeah.
go back to just talking. Danny's not in the should I stay or should I go at the moment. He's going.
No, he's going.
He's
So
going.
We're going.
what we're
Yep.
talking about, Danny, was the other night when, okay, so I had taken a 3-pack of trucks for United Road from New Orleans to, was it Alexandria, Louisiana, something like that. It was 224 miles and it was like almost $900. So we had enough time to pick up another load. That was my whole goal. So first off, if you're going to do something like that, you're always looking to see if you can pick up something the same day because then it doubles your money, shall we say. So I had found a 2-pack of two 2500s that were about 70 miles below him in Brokerage that were going over to Hammond for $500. Well, the crazy part is this dealership, their phones did not work. It kept going saying that you called the wrong number. I'm checking to make sure it's the right number online. I sent them an email through their website. I call all the local like dealerships around them that are listed with them, and they keep giving me the same number. I keep telling them that their phone isn't working. Nobody does anything about it. Danny shows up there and like, there's nothing wrong with our phones. And I even checked again and it's still their phones aren't working. So whatever. Anyways, when he got there, they were in the fleet department. They wouldn't let him pick it up because the fleet department closed at 5. And even though they were open till 6, nobody would help him. So here's the question. Do you stay for that extra $500 or do you go? Because I already had a 3-pack out of Baton Rouge, which he was about an hour away from. And that was going to Dallas. So the conundrum is this: do you go or do you stay? Do you want that extra $500? Now, if Danny could have picked up the 3-pack and gone to Dallas and been picked up the same day, then we're making money. If we can't do that, then you stay for the extra $500. Because why not take an extra $500 if you got to spend the night anyways, right? So that's what you always have to think about. Now, if he had been able to be there and we could have picked up a load and like say this load that I got, he could have picked up, but they closed at 4. There was never that wasn't gonna happen. Then if he could have done double that amount, I would have told him to go. But I knew he wasn't gonna make it in time to be sure that we could get loaded and get out of there.
Out of Dallas, yeah.
Yeah. So, and now
I think
that's
that was a
one
good
of
move.
the things that we deal with when we're doing this stuff. And it's always a question that me and Danny or whoever driver will talk about and whether it's worth staying or not. Or like, for example, I think last week, didn't we leave without one too, Danny, because we wanted to get to the next place so we could make enough money. And I always say, if it's a $300 car, there's no point in spending the night for a $300 car when you're going to make more money the next day. Because to me, if you lose the whole day for say $1,500 over $300, you're not making money. You need to move. This situation that we dealt with the other night is a little different though, because we knew we weren't going to make the time. So he picked him up that morning. It was only an hour drive over to, well, no, it was 2 hours to drive back an hour back. Yeah. So it was worth doing to pick up that extra $500. And then you were there this morning to drop, right?
Yep. So was. But the dealership told me that I got the number wrong when I spoke to the manager. Anyway.
So,
All right, that was a good description. I like that. I like that because for a dispatcher,
yes.
this is an ongoing thing. I'll tell my story of should I stay or should I go.
Yeah.
I had an extreme version where I had a driver that would insist that we sit and wait for days.
Right.
We really did that.
I've had a couple of them myself, yeah.
And he
Until
would
something
send
good
me
comes up.
photos. He started sending me photos each morning outside the view outside of his window saying, hey, I'm getting tired of this view. And I was thinking, well, me too. So what are we doing? And he was saying, well, we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait until those rates come up, and I need you to work on those. I need you to negotiate, Jay. It's like when my grandpa used to say to me, don't be afraid of work. I'm like, I'm not afraid of it. Okay, well, don't be afraid of it. So, yeah, I'm negotiating. I'm trying. I'm scanning. I'm freaking out, you know.
Yeah.
I'm drinking. I'm trying to work through this. I'm tired of looking out your front window. And then we got to the point where, well, you know what? I see some good stuff in Denver. I'm going to Denver. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What? Wait, you're going to drive? Okay, well, I see one. I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to call it. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to go to Denver. And he's off. And now I'm not only not booking that car to Denver, which, by the way, as a dispatcher, I had a rule. If I didn't book it, then I wasn't going to charge you that percentage.
Right.
You know, everybody's different. But I just was, I don't know. I was trying to be, whatever.
Right.
I knew that, and this gets to another principle of mine. I knew that this is a red flag, and if I get enough of these red flags, we ain't going to be able to continue this.
Right.
We're not working together.
Yeah, this is
Right.
crazy. So, gets the car, goes to Denver. All I remember is, at one point, he caught in a sandstorm near Phoenix. Like, this whole idea of just picking up and going to another city and hoping for better, doesn't work.
No.
That doesn't
I've
work.
never had it work either.
That does not work. And right now, somebody's doing that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. And now you're just driving angry. Now you're like all the other four-wheelers on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
You're ticked off. You have nothing on your truck.
And that's a problem too. But so, you also can't sit there.
No.
Right?
You can't.
And this is why, the make decisions. You have to make a decision. You have to. We used to talk about this. Booking out of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I always found Houston at the time to be one of those cities where you got to make a decision.
That's where Danny's from, so yes, we know.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the worst cities is Houston, Dallas, and Austin for me. One of my least favorite.
Yeah.
Good, dude.
Absolutely.
In Houston, you got to make a decision. In Dallas, you got to have brass balls.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And so, yeah, you have to make a decision. And the thing is, so with this guy, when I'd say, listen, man, I booked one. I got a good paying van in Houston. We're in Houston. We're near Houston. We're in Beaumont. Whatever. I got a good paying van. We're going to get out of here. Well, what are you going to... And then we go into Negativeville. Well, what are you going to put with it? I'm working on that.
Yeah.
All right, well, man... You know, I got my truck payments, my house payments, my pool payments. I know. Can we get off the phone so I can go book stuff?
Yeah.
You know, and this is where, it takes a team. It'd be like the quarterback looking at the coach. Well, what are we going to do? You're going to go out there and you're going to run this play. Well, what if it doesn't work? Forget about it. We got 4 downs.
So how long was the driver working for you? I mean,
take it away, Danny. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, how long were you guys working together with that driver, specifically, Randy?
Too long is the answer. Too long.
Too long? Yeah, okay.
I will say this. And all's fair in love and war. And he doesn't watch this channel, I'm sure. There's no way he's still hauling cars. That can't be possible. is that I actually spent a Thanksgiving. The family, relatives, everybody was inside hanging out. I stood on the back porch trying to find a forklift driver in Virginia Beach that would work on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen. So
No.
I basically just missed Thanksgiving and a forklift driver. Yeah. Like, I mean, well, what, come on. We got to work together. Right. So that's, well, you asked. No. All right. So we got, should I stay or should we go? We're talking about maintenance. Danny, we know you're busy. Sue, how about this? Expenses, maintenance, rates, turbo, pickup truck, transmission, sleeper, CDL, anything that we're forgetting before we let Danny go?
I don't think so, unless Danny has something he wants to talk about.
Danny, how about this? How about parting message? What would you say to it's? Okay, who sets the rates,
Newbie.
Danny? Who sets the rates?
Yeah, there you go.
Who sets the rates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a philosophical question. I think it's a trick question, but the question is, who sets the rates in auto transport?
Both. Shipper and the driver could set these rates as well.
Shipper and the driver. Shipper and the driver. Okay. And
In my
now,
opinion, yeah.
so when you said, do you feel like you're able to negotiate for the rates, or Sue and Danny, do you feel like you're able to get the rates that, a driver needs to haul the vehicle and run a business in today's marketplace with its 29,000 loads? Is it monthly? Is it
I think
weekly?
it's hard, but I know Sue is doing the best for me, so she's got my back. And other than that, it's probably hard to get more money. To me, it's always.
Right. Sue helps you
Very
focus
competitive.
on the driving.
Yes. Yeah, she's the best.
Can you imagine if you had to do all that yourself?
Honestly, I cannot imagine, Jay. I cannot imagine. It's a lot,
It is a lot. Well, and I know that's a loaded question. There's somebody right now saying, I don't have a dispatcher. I don't need a dispatcher. I don't want a dispatcher. And I'm not trying to talk you into one.
Right.
But it is, I can imagine that, yeah, if once you get accustomed to having the dispatcher manage that stuff, to go, Danny, what happens if you let go Sue tomorrow? What are you going to do?
Well, I wouldn't go for doing it myself, honestly. I mean, there's so much to do all the time, so many things to worry about. It just would be impossible for me. I know maybe some people can, but I'm not one of those people.
I know that, dispatching, and this is not a dispatching commercial, but I just wanted to talk about it. All right, is there any, that might have been our final thought. Anything else before we let you go, Danny?
No, know your costs. Experience is everything. Know your cost of operation and know your numbers, basically. That's pretty much it.
DDD says, hell no, the rates ain't fair.
No. In general, I agree.
No.
I don't think they, in general.
We get some diamonds every once in a while,
But in general.
But they used to be better. And also when we were talking to Danny about whether the shippers or the transporters by taking these cheap loads drive the prices down too. Yeah, that's
there we go. Right. Yeah, I had to pull this one up.
Yeah, I sent you that one. That's horrifying.
All right, this is real, Danny. We got on the screen. Here we go. She's a real beaut, Danny. I'm your dispatcher. Okay, it's $690. It's going to pay $691. Woohoo! Oh, it's 6 vehicles.
$0.15 cents a mile.
That's right.
Yeah.
From Columbia, Tennessee, 33 miles south of Nashville. So if we're in Nashville, we're still going to add another 70.
Yep.
And it goes to Clinton Township. 6 vehicles, pays $691. How are you feeling about that? Should I book it?
Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
He would think there was something wrong with me if I called and asked him for that. And what's crazy about this, I will guarantee you that load has 3 or 4 drops too. Because that's what they
Can you
do.
imagine? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, how about this? There's two games I like to play. Number one is, what do you think the shipper's paying? But before we get to that one, what should this pay?
A minimum of $300 a vehicle, I think.
All right.
That's a minimum.
Get out my little calculator here.
And it's a 6-car, so that's why I'm saying
times
that.
6.
And of course, we don't know what. We didn't bring down the types of vehicles. For all we know, they're all pickup trucks. Who knows?
So we're off by a good $1,000.
It does look like it, because if you look at it, it's 5,500 pounds. They're 199 in length. They're big.
Exactly. That's most likely a pickup truck or SUV. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And they're 70 high. So if nothing else, they're big SUVs or something to that effect.
You know that
Tahoes. Probably Tahoes.
691 divided by 6 is 115. Each vehicle pays $115
To go 603 miles, which is actually more than that. Yeah.
So, what? All right, let's go back to, what do you think the shipper's paying, and what do you think the shipper thinks?
Well,
let's go to, what do you think? What is the shipper paying? Let's say
I would charge
they're
the shipper,
SUVs, or I don't know.
I mean, if I was going to charge the shipper anything, a minimum of $2,000.
But the problem is, this is probably a volume deal.
Yeah.
These might even be new vehicles, are they? We
sure.
don't know. Okay, right? So if they're new vehicles, yeah, so this is a plant or a railhead, right? Do we know if Columbia is a plant or a railhead?
I didn't think Columbia was. I thought it was Smyrna.
Right.
So I'm thinking dealer to dealer, but either way.
It could be an overflow lot.
Yeah, it could be.
Right? I was talking to an OEM about overflow lots. Actually, well, an OEM logistics guy, and overflow lots are common.
Yeah.
And you know why? This is awesome. Overflow lots are common because if a logistics service provider is the reason why there's a bottleneck with output of vehicles, guess what happens? Guillotine. So they will do anything to not backlog the plant from putting out more cars. Put them anywhere.
Gotcha.
Call your aunt and your uncle and the kids and find out if there's room in the backyard. All right. So, anyways, so these are probably new vehicles. And now, well, oh, shoot. Each one is 5,500 pounds?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right. So these new vehicles, man, that's a steal. If the shipper's paying anywhere near 115 a unit, well, heck. Well, now wait a minute. So if this broker, right? It's a broker.
Yes.
If this broker is able to get 300 a unit
from them and sell it for 115 a unit,
and actually now we're back at what the carrier should be getting paid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
300 times 6, that's 1,800.
Yeah.
1,800, what, 600 miles divided by 1,800?
About 50
cents. 33 cents a mile.
No.
Yeah, I know. I hate this part. This is why I don't work.
300 is half of 603. So you're almost at 50 cents a mile per car.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. So would you do it for $250 a car and the broker keeps $50 broker fee? And at that volume, why not? I think what's happened too.
I would.
It's kind of like
taking them to Detroit too, where you're going to get bank out of it.
Yeah, exactly right. So, the broker fee could be $50 a unit. Especially if you're moving 2,000 units. Well, shoot, it's probably 5,000 units times $50 broker fee. Still going to make, shoot, man, $250,000 on this deal.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like soda. Why is soda? You're charging me like $1.50, $2 for a soda when the syrup and the carbonation was only like a nickel or a dime.
Right.
Right? Is that what's happened? The sodatization of auto transport rates? Because you don't need to make. Listen, if you're paying me $115 a unit and you're making $115, $175 a unit, what happened?
Yeah. It shouldn't be more than that. That's
crazy.
Horrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is easy to do is that I feel like I see this company gets shared a lot.
I have a feeling you're correct because we all know it's a big.
Because
huge
it's a recurring problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gary's checking out the ratings.
Well,
Thanks,
here's
Gary.
the thing about it. It wouldn't matter if you wanted the load. They don't answer the phone anyways.
Oh, and DDD, if you damage one vehicle, it costs more than the whole load. Good point.
Yep, there you go.
I mean,
Oh
there
my
is
God, that's
almost
right.
no upside to taking this.
No, there's not. And
Other
I'm telling you
than
right
now
now,
you're in
it probably
Detroit.
goes to 3 or 4 different locations too. Their stuff is never
You're
one
totally
hit,
right.
one drop. It's
It is.
multiple drops every time.
And so, I mean, the churn of the carrier Rolodex must be high, right?
Yeah.
Because even a fly-by-night, it's talked about. Here we go, Gary. Fly-by-night carriers. Even a fly-by-night carrier is going to be like, yeah, that load was not worth it.
No.
Right?
No.
I mean it. Right?
No.
In fact, that fly-by-night carriers. Are there any trucks named fly-by-night? You shared this too. This is, and we're just doing this for kicks. $300 for table, chair, and lamps.
Yeah.
From Texas to Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what? I think, you know what I think? I think we can put that with the 6 Pro Masters paying $75 each.
Just throw that in the back of the truck.
Exactly. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, there might be like a bird in a cage and a statue. It's just like Shipping Wars.
Well, I just can't figure out why people think it's okay to list this stuff on there. Like it's normal.
I know. Well, this is where I stand up and say, you know what? If you can do whatever you want in auto transport, you can certainly list tables and chairs and monkey bars and everything.
I mean, we've seen everything. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
guess we
there
haven't
is
seen
no,
everything, but
there
we're
is no
close.
more. I don't know. I don't know. Did it used to be this way though?
I don't remember.
I don't remember it either.
Seeing this kind of crazy stuff on here only for maybe the last 3-4 years.
The 10 years ago, the funniest thing was a bread truck.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Or a food truck or something like
Right.
that. And you're
You'd
like,
see
how
a
are you going to
food
carry
truck.
that?
Then you'd
Yeah.
see a bus, and
Yeah.
then you'd see like a crane with a boom.
Right. Right.
But now, I mean, it's pinball machines and it's whatever. I mean, which is funny. I don't know. Does that stuff ever get moved? I'd love to see the metrics on that.
There you go. Maybe we can get a central bot.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get that AI going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody have any last questions for Danny? We're going to let him go. Danny, thank you so much
Yeah, thank
for
you,
joining
Danny.
us. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Safe travels out there.
Yes. Let me know if there's a problem with
Thank you.
fans.
Exactly. Any
Sure.
issues?
I will.
Call dispatch.
All right. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, guys.
All right, here we go. And I'll put you
Bye.
back in the waiting room. And thank you, Danny. All right, so what we'll do is we're almost at 1 o'clock. Oh, I still have a couple. Let's see. Let's get through try and do some news here real quick. This is a weird story. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network's new reporting requirements hits owner-operators and small fleets. So the U.S. Treasury Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, now administers a reporting system aimed at all manner of small businesses through the U.S. and a newly established LLC, corporation, LLP, or some other business types, including any other owner-operator small fleet, is filed with the Secretary, has 90 days to report beneficial ownership information to FinCEN and the Treasury. Penalties are severe. Now, I'm reading this because right before I read this, I was reading how, like, in New York, they're handing out, like, debit cards to migrants.
Yeah. Right.
Okay? And I don't want to get in the weeds of craziness, but how do you have severe penalties for not reporting a newly established LLC, corporation, LLP, when, well, clearly the United States is a bottomless pit of funding? So I don't really get it. And I'm not here to make anybody mad, but it sounds about right. So everything's in order. Oh, and there's the article. Moving on. Fuel card skimming. Now, it is what surprised me Okay, two things surprised me. One is magnet strip cards that don't have a security chip
Uh-huh.
have higher chance of getting defrauded.
Yeah.
And scammers can take advantage of environments in which the driver relies on the magnet strip. And what they'll do is I guess scammers will disable the chip reader. I don't know. But just, stranger danger, beware. For the driver, once fraud is detected, the card will be blocked. This causes a problem on the road. And one fleet was saying 10 grand a month in fraud charges.
Wow.
Whoa. So we all have our hats on down, like, let's go to us.
Right.
Do you think about credit card skimming in your daily life?
No.
See, I try,
That happens.
I try to, and then I forget because I'm in the transaction.
Right.
I just got gas, totally forgot again. Well, I don't even know what it looks like. Like, is it like Escape from Alcatraz where Clint Eastwood is digging away at the stone and puts a fake grate up? Does it look, can you tell?
No, I don't think you can tell. And I think it happens mainly to debit cards more than it does credit cards. I don't know why, but you'll see, like where I live down in Theodosia, if we had a local gas station and it happened to this girl that worked for me almost every week, that she would go in and use her card to get gas. And the next thing you know, they were shutting off her card because someone was doing something to it and using money on her card. Which sucks about debit cards is you don't get that money back for several days. So if that's your money to live on, you're screwed. The other thing with debit cards, credit cards, debit cards, most people don't understand is when you go to get gas, they hold usually at least $50 over whatever you spent too, and then don't give it back to you for 24 to 48 hours. So there's a few things in there.
Also, I learned this. I don't use my debit card anymore as a credit card.
I don't believe in them. I don't like them because of that.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, I only use that stuff for banking. Yeah. I mean, in secure environments with hazmat suits. Yeah, never use your debit card.
I use Venmo and Cash App, and I've never. The only time I've ever had any problems with it was where you go get a drink and like a Pepsi thing, and it scans your card. It scanned my card like 3 or 4 times one time, and I contacted them right away. Gave me back.
I've lost money on a vending machine too.
Yeah, I just call them up and they give me back my money. So I'm just like, okay. But that's the only time I've ever had anything happen where anything got, and I don't consider that stolen. That's just their machine doing crazy shit. But I've never had that ever happen on one of Venmo's or Cash Apps. I don't know if it's different than a debit card or what, because it's essentially backed by a credit card. So
I did.
This was a long, it's interesting. The DOT regulation stuff where I hand it to Brian, man, this stuff is hard to follow. And it's such a great reminder that just managing the legality of being a carrier is a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to read it. Here we go. Hey, everyone. Company with 2 years experience transferred to my name, and the FMCSA gave me new US DOT, but 3 days ago FMCSA attached the new USA DOT with old MC number, but now my company status shows not authorized, but FMCSA didn't inform me why. Now it shows inactive. I'm confused. It could be the old insurance with old US DOT. If I get new insurance, some people say your company is inactive. If you activate it, it will show new to brokers, but they won't give you the load. They treated you like new carrier. Your past 2 years experience not visible to them. Please help me. Brian understood it. I'm reading it like a bot. What was likely happened is your insurance company did not file an updated MCS 90 with the FMCSA to reflect new ownership information, and the new US DOT number without a current and active MCS 90 filing your authority will be suspended and shows as inactive.
Yep.
Purchasing an existing. Wow, you follow. This is great. No wonder
had it happen.
No wonder you're so good. Look at that. You follow this?
Yep. It happens.
Playoffs. Purchasing an existing MC number will not help you avoid the new carrier identity unless the company you purchased was set up as a corporation with stock and you simply purchased all the outstanding stock. Any other sale or transfer will require a new US DOT number, and therefore the record will show as a new carrier despite the age of the operating authority. Many brokers don't catch this, but the high-quality ones will catch it and flag you as a new carrier, as they should, because unless you purchase an ongoing and operating entity with the existing management and such, you are a new carrier. Actually, this is why this kind of legality stuff, this is why I try to follow licensing and registration of DMV stuff and titling with new vehicles, because it's about as complicated on the dealer side.
Yeah, and Brian's great. He knows
I'm like, please answer this. Here we go. This is blank. We had this company was featured just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Same company.
Same
Blank
company.
One Trucking. This blank one is the company I was talking about, the fake broker. Scam, fake company, no insurance, fake paperwork. Be aware of this carrier. They are harming the industry for their stupid purposes. Carrier like this has no place on Central. Do not give me any order. And they replied, "You're a fake company. Our papers are on Central. I sent you all my papers when you gave me the fake contract. So I let you know I got the 3 cars from blankety blank with payment paid COP by the dealer and picked up on time, delivered on time. The contract direct from the dealer. That's why I canceled your amazing contract. We'll send amazing. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Your amazing contract. We'll send all the info to Central, dispute the negative you gave us. You're a fake broker."
Yep. And I let them haul from me because I knew exactly who they were talking about.
This is wild, man.
Yeah.
So I think this will be important, camera one. With your $100 million investment, there has to be a way to clean up some of this stuff.
Huh?
I don't know exactly how, but I'm telling you, you have to do something, right?
Well, yeah, because once this goes and there's, say, all of a sudden you have 10 people on here who's not getting paid, it's too late. It's absolutely too late for anybody to do anything. Those people are out all that money. So there's got to be a different way of doing this, I think.
I think Chris Chamberlain booked a show earlier. I think DDD might be booking a show. Let's do it. Let's go to the live chat. Let's do it, DDD. Dispatching live in May. Driving without a dispatcher. Man, dude, everyone will tune in for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me know if that works, DDD. And it doesn't matter. See, that's it. And I said this before. It doesn't matter what I think of the topic. What matters is if it's relevant and important. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about anything relevant and important in automotive. Not the weather. We might talk about cocktails at the end of the show. Oh, here, check this out. Watch this video. This is awesome. There's no sound. And the first time I watched it, like, the customer got my attention. Then I was like, wait, I got to see that again. So it'll keep rolling. Okay, so we're playing volleyball, and the volleyball net goes through the days. The shipper lobs it over. The broker to the carrier, to the broker, the shipper to the customer, and
Blam.
bam, the customer knocks the broker and the carrier out, but the logistics manager is there to help kick it back to the shipper. But by the way, did any work get done? I don't know. I don't know if anything got delivered, but check this out. Go, customer, go. This is so funny. It really, interestingly enough, it tells an actual story. So, shout out. I don't know who made it. It's pretty cool. I like it. I think I got another. We need to talk about broker bond.
Yes.
All right. So take it away. What are we doing?
So I had someone call me the other day, and they had worked for a broker and they hadn't been paid, and they didn't know how to go about doing any of this stuff. So how it's supposed to work, if you need to file against a broker bond, you have to wait 30 days after it's been past due. That's the number one thing. 2, make sure you keep your contract. You're going to have your contract. You're going to have your bill of lading. To go find out who their broker bond company is, go to Central Dispatch, go look up their information. The broker bond company is there. Each of the broker bond companies have different procedures. Most of them want you to send an email. They'll send you a packet, something to that effect. Some of them have an online. Some of them you actually talk to. So once you get all their packet information and whatever they need to process, usually what happens first is I always ask the bond company if they'll answer you if they have any other situations with this particular company. Just so you kind of know what you're getting into, because as we all know, there's not as much money against a broker bond as there should be. You may never see any money. And if they've got a whole bunch of people listed trying to go after this particular broker, you're probably at the bottom of that list and you're probably not going to see a dime. Now, if it's a normal broker and maybe they just slipped up, and you know how some of these broker accounting departments never answer the phone. In particular, this one he called about is a broker that I deal with on a regular. We've always been paid, so I kind of think it's a slip up. But we told him how to go. We gave him the broker bond company phone number, name, that kind of thing to call them. And usually, what happens if it's a slip up, that bond company will just call the actual broker and say, "Hey, this company didn't get paid. What's going on?" And they'll get it straightened out right then and there. That's not always the case, but with this one, I think that's what's going to happen. But he didn't know anything about doing it. He had called me from the show, and we helped him, get all the information. But it's not a common practice to have to go against a broker bond, so I thought we better talk about it and go over it a little bit.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you did that for us. You know about the broker bond. When I was dispatching,
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't do much with broker bonds in that
Right.
it takes a while to learn what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
This is all stuff that just happens over the years of experience.
It's a real learning curve.
Yeah.
And so, what's broker bond 101? Just to hit it again in a quick fashion. What's broker bond 101?
30 days past due. Then contact your broker bond company, and like I said, go to Central Dispatch. All of their information should be listed there along with a phone number, and then you contact them. Usually when you call the phone number, it's going to say go to this website or send me an email. Then just follow whatever procedure they need to get it done. But always ask when you're doing this, is there other people filing against this bond? Just so you kind of know what's going on.
Okay, well, I see a YouTube short in your future. That was perfect. Let's see here. I got some more news. We got another video. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. So Dan the Dooley Holland man, he was here.
Okay.
All right, here's a video.
All this open parking lot. This is right here why
Here we go. Let me start again. Now you got the sound.
Okay.
all this open parking lot. This is right here why auction fees have gotten so high. All this empty space. Just 12 months ago, all this empty space was filled by Chevy Colorados from GM Wentzville plant. Who knows how much they were paying to Cox Automotive to put their vehicles here. But now that it's all empty, something tells me auction fees have gone up. We wouldn't know that because they don't post it anywhere and none of the employees know how much fees are. It's like a slot wheel. You just gotta raise your hand up high and hold it there to see what is the fee gonna be.
So
Where's it at?
I know. So I don't know where he is, although he is in Colorado.
Oh, he is. Okay.
So that could be Manheim, Denver, or
Good
something.
man, Denver and Aurora. Yeah.
Exactly, in Aurora. And so Dan is also, he's a dealer and a car hauler. Was on the show recently, and he loves to talk about auction fees. Now, something that I really share with Dan is I hate not knowing something that totally could have been told to me.
Right.
I can't stand it. And especially when you get dinged by it after the fact.
Right.
Like, if you knew, you really should have told me. And he's like, he shared this screenshot. He bought a Cadillac XT5. The buy fees were $555. Now, anybody could look at this and say, well, I don't know what the problem is, right? And maybe I'm thinking that right now. But he knows if that auction fee would have been posted, he would not have bought it.
Gotcha.
And he didn't know until he purchased it. Why?
Yeah, he should know.
I mean, come on. That's why, like, even like, how about restaurants where you get a menu and there's no prices on it?
Right, exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
if it's Valentine's Day, oh, I get it. We're gonna do that, right? Because money's no object. But if I'm doing a transaction that pertains to my business,
Yeah.
I want to know the price.
Yeah, well, because you got to figure that into the cost of it all.
Yes. And he has brought this up before. There must be a real problem, and he wants to talk about it.
It must be, because that seems high to me too.
Yeah, actually,
Well, that's-
if you look at it, yeah, because what are we talking about? This
Yeah.
is like a broker fee, right?
Right. Yeah.
What
does
did
that
you do
entail?
for 555? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
And I know you there ain't no
This is
other
pricey.
automotive platform where you're going to see this, because this is anti-business. What do you mean you're looking at the price?
Well, I'm curious as to what he used to pay, or what he considers normal compared to this too.
And
That he-
I've talked with, so when you acquire a vehicle at an auction,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, so you got to put your hand up, and they got to do some paperwork, and they got to run
Right.
the car. So there's going to be some labor.
Right.
But like, who paid the detailing and to get the car ready for auction? Who paid that? Did the
Right.
seller already pay that?
Yes. Yeah. So how much are they charging the seller too? Right.
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. What are you getting for 555?
Yeah. Because they got to be charging the seller just as much, if not more, right?
Right. And I've heard sellers aren't happy with their fees either. So the seller's paying a lot. The buyer's paying a lot. Is it possible that on just this car, the auction made $1,000?
Yeah.
To do what?
I
I know they
get some
did
of
things.
it.
They
Right.
have to pay the real estate, and they have to pay the
Right.
labor, and keep the lights on, and have a license, and
Right.
But yeah, it is very interesting. I've also heard that buy and sell fees have gone up a lot over the last few years, which is interesting too, because this is why I look at the full automotive picture. And I know we're not supposed to let everybody talk to each other, but if you look at during COVID, record profits posted by dealers, auction fees for sellers and buyers went up, carriers for a little while made more money, right?
Yes.
But overall, in the tens of millions and billions, I think it was carriers that failed to keep up with the Joneses on record profits.
Oh, I'm sure.
And hey, how about the UAW? We know that the UAW scored a major victory with their labor dispute, right? I mean, which was kind of, it was wild to watch. But they are now making a lot more money than they were. I mean, that's a generalization. When's the last time carriers in auto transport saw a significant rate increase?
Not.
Super Bowl one?
I mean, we had
I mean-
a significant rate increase during COVID, but there was a reason for that. They didn't have an option. You know what I mean? But that doesn't count.
I know. Blah, blah, blah. Come on, Jay. Let's see here. What do you have? Some kind of commie? Okay. Send in your emails, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I know I got to change that. I got to change that email address. I like the virtual background. I never use it. And it's actually because of you that I'm like, well, I never use the
Let's do
virtual
it.
background. Yeah, looks pretty cool. With the robot and everything. We're going AI. This is Dispatching Live 2.0. What do you think about that?
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Cool. DDD, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Right, and Dan said, plus the seller pays. Great. Dan is here. He got to see that. That's awesome.
So what? Hey, Dan, what was the normal fees that you're used to?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, would love to know that. Please put that in the live chat. And while we're doing that too, if you got anything else to add, if you know of somebody that really could benefit by tuning in and chiming in, please let them know.
Yeah.
We're on every Thursday at noon. Chris, we booked the equipment show in April. DDD, it looks like we're going to book a Driving Without a Dispatcher in May. And if you have other show ideas, let me know. And if you work at a corporation, if you work in a corner office, if you work in the back office, if you work outside or under a bridge, if you got something to say in automotive that you know isn't mainstream, isn't traditional, isn't popular, this is your channel. ATI Auto Business is for anyone that wants to learn more about the automotive industry. It's just that Thursdays we happen to talk specifically logistics because it's the gift that keeps on giving. All right, we're at 1:20. I don't know. I had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
She says, yeah. All right, so...
You always have a good time. What do you mean?
I know, and I don't... I go into every Thursday not sure. And I come out usually
Feeling
on the
great.
same... Yeah, it's fun. It's fascinating to me. It is a social experiment at this point. And, hey, this is show 157.
Wow.
I know, we crossed the 150 mark. So... version 1.0 was 150 shows. We're now in version 2.
Okay.
And so you being on camera is
Yeah,
perfect timing.
here's the-
So cool. That's a lot of applause button for one show. All right, let's try this. What do we say, office?
What do we say, everybody? And Janice just walked out the door.
Oh, Janice just
Goodbye,
walked out the door.
Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody.
See you
Thank you
guys.
so much. We'll see you next time. Please do join us every Thursday. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
there may not be a show next Thursday.
Okay.
This happens periodically. Schedules get crazy. But we will be back. Well, we'll definitely be back another Thursday this month. So stick around. Take your notes. And we got to come up with what's our... Oh, I will do this. Here's what I did do. Because I don't know about next Thursday. The 22nd, we have Travis from Conus Trucking.
Okay.
Legit car hauling business, owner, manager, driver, all that stuff.
Okay.
That's gonna be a good show. So let's make notes of the things we need to make sure we need to talk about. And great job on the should I stay or should I go? That was good. That was good. So let's keep that cranking.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Janice did it.
Janice! Shoot! Yeah, Janice! Yeah. That was
You gotta
awesome.
get at least the eighth of a credit, dang it.
Right? So if you have one of those in the live chat, if you have a should I stay or should I go thought, please share it. We want to know what we should be doing, what we should be talking about. Edgar, thanks for tuning in. All right, I mean it this time. What do we say, office?
Goodbye.
Sue.
Bye, Sue. Thanks, everybody. Stay
Thank you,
tuned.
guys.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. Peace out. Thank you.